Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you're into game dev and trying new things, I think this video will interest you. Today I'm going to be talking about why Julia is a good language to get started with game development. This is my personal opinion, so this is just the way I feel. I'm not going to get into any technical nitty gritty stuff. I'm going to kind of graze over that. But this video is inspired by this video here, advocating Go for game development. So first of all, what is Julia? So Julia is a high performance programming language designed for technical computing. It's used a lot in the academic community. Julia has pretty simple syntax, kind of like Python, but can be optimized to be as fast as C. Yes, I said as fast as C. I think this alone is enough to draw some people in for game development, but there is much more to this language, in my opinion. So first of all, let's talk about the fact that Julia is an open source language and all of its packages are open source. Since Julia is a relatively young language compared to giants like Python and C++, the community is still growing and evolving. So that means if you're passionate about contributing to open source projects, this is probably a great time to get involved. I have personally been able to contribute to some of the libraries for the language. And if you're a software engineer by trade, which that's what I am, contributions to open source software can look pretty good on your resume. So let's talk about the community. The Julia community is incredibly welcoming and helpful. I would say that this is one of the biggest benefits of working with the Julia language. I seriously cannot stress this enough. And because the ecosystem isn't as mature as some of the older languages, there's a lot of room for new contributors to make an impact. If you have ideas for new packages or improvements, your contributions are likely to be noticed and appreciated. Personally, I've had a few people in the community take time out of their days to contribute to my game engine. They've taught me how to improve code organization, performance, and taught me how to profile my code. I've also received quite a few pull requests to improve the project, and I can hands down guarantee that if I was making an engine in C or C++, that I would have zero outside contributors because languages in C and C++ are a dime a dozen. Not that it's easy, but that's what a lot of people who make engines do. The people in the community, they really want to see the language grow, and I think that's where having a game dev community will help a ton because me personally, the reason I got into software engineering is because games. Pretty much almost every software engineer I've met or know has made some sort of game, and a lot of them games were the gateway to get into engineering. So another exciting aspect of Julia is its robust ecosystem of bindings and packages. Bindings allow Julia to interface with other languages and libraries, which means you get to leverage existing tools and frameworks while still writing your core code in Julia. For example, I use the library SDL2, which we can see here, for the base of my game engine. Since you'll be using a package manager to install these packages, you can get it set up in minutes and start writing code immediately. Whereas with C or C++, there's a lot of, not that it's bad, I will say that, but there's a lot of just setup and stuff that's involved with it, and it's not super easy to transfer development environments. So for packages, if you can't find exactly what you need, you can create your own bindings. The Julia community provides plenty of resources and documentation to help you create your own bindings. Julia is on a trajectory of continuous improvement. The language is still evolving with a lot of exciting features and enhancements on the horizon. From performance tweaks to new libraries and tools, Julia's development team is constantly working to make the language even better. This means that investing your time in Julia today is an investment in a language that's going to keep growing and adapting to new challenges. The innovations coming down the pipeline could open new possibilities and streamline your development process even further. So finally, if there's enough interest, I'm planning on creating a guide of getting started with SDL2 and Julia. So I use SDL as a foundation for the game engine I'm creating in Julia. So if you're more interested in just the game making part, I'm planning on creating a tutorial for the engine as well. So what do you think? Is Julia the right fit for your next game development project? Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that SDL tutorial and any other Julia related content you may be interested in.